Hello everyone, welcome to Sociology for You. Myself Harmandeep Singh and I welcome all of you in today's sociological journey. Recently I was going through my social media profile as well as feed and I came across a video. In a video the person was telling that whatever happens for greater good, whatever things are occurring in the society are for ultimate good. And such a thought pushed me to think, is sociology saying something about it? And the answer is yes, there is a perspective that became famous due to the works of Emile Durkheim called functionalism. Functionalism perspective is very unique because it is hard to swallow at the first, because it says everything that exists in the society, be it bad thing, be it a behavior that is not accepted as a good as in the society, for example crime, for example the behaviors that are punished by the society or not considered morally correct, all those things are functional. Durkheim believed society is like an organism. All the parts, all the institutions of the society are basically existing because they serve some purpose. Like the idea is like Darwinism, yeah, theory of evolution, which says human body has everything which serves some function or purpose. And if in the course of time organ or a part of the body does not serve the purpose, it is removed from the body through the process of evolution, and that is a very long term process. Similar idea was of Emile Durkheim that society as a whole is a being in itself, and he calls it social consciousness, and he says everything that exists in the society has some function. And his work, one of the famous work that I would like to surely talk about with you all, is suicide. This is the topic where, and it is a very sensitive topic, people usually generally tend to believe that it is just a psychological phenomenon. Only psychology is the subject where the reasons behind suicide should be studied, because it is a kind of a personal and psychological activity. But Emile Durkheim proved with his research, that data-based research, that it is not the only psychological reasons that can be considered to be behind suicide. It is a social phenomenon. It is very hard to swallow that suicide phenomena like a suicide can be a social phenomenon. Durkheim said it is the social currents that exist in the society. It is the societal setup that pushes an individual to commit a suicide. And this is not just a opinion of Emile Durkheim that can be shunned away by saying no, it is not right. He presented data for it. He classifies suicide to be the act which has greater and greater possibility of death of a person by his individual actions, but he listed that there are four social currents that exist in the society that can push a person to commit a suicide. And he described the types of suicide in these types of four currents. One he called egoistic suicide, where he said it is the extreme level of current by the society on the individual, where individual feels disconnected with every social institution, be it education, be it family, be it friends, be it any of the social institution. If individual does not feels connected to it, or the institutions have lost meaning for that individual, they have pushed him to the limits that he does not feel any connected, any integration, he tends to commit suicide. On the other extreme of this egoistic suicide, he said there is altruistic suicide. Altruistic suicide, in the common layman language, it means when a person is overly connected in the institution or thought of society. Be it education, we in India there is a place called Kota, where students go to learn about engineering and crack the IIT exam, toughest exam required to enter into IITs, and they are highly integrated with the thought of getting into IIT. So much so they get disconnected from every other institution, and only one thought, one institution, educational system is the key in their lives. And if they are unable to get into it, that means they will think there is nothing left for them and they commit the suicide. So similarly, people are ready to die for the notion of nationalism. In the armies, this is high probability. So if any social current, any institution of the society where a person is deeply integrated, highly integrated, then there is tendency to commit suicide by such people. I still remember there was case in Delhi, Burari suicide. I hope most of you might have heard this. People of the same family, 11 or 12 people, committed suicide together. And the reason behind was that people of that family believed there is calling by their great grandfather or grandfather. He is saying that you should come to me. Such an social institution, family, got integrated into one particular thought that they are being called by someone, preferably their grandparents, and hence they committed mass suicide. This phenomena is seen in many such cases where there is strong feeling toward one particular thought pattern or social institution, so much so that people are able to commit the suicide. Other two currents described by Durkheim, the first one is fatalistic suicide. When a person is deeply, norms are so much imposed by society, the social norms that exist in society are so harsh and so, we can say, rigorous, that a person feels that he does not have any individualism left. There is for example, earlier times, people were taken as slaves. They were beaten to do particular kind of tasks, and they felt there is no iota of hope for them to realize their agency, to realize what they wish to do for themselves. Such a controlled environment pushed them to the extent of suicide. So if society has so strict norms, so harsh norms, a person tends to feel that he does not have control over his agency, and he commits suicide. Take last but not the least, anomic suicide, whereas Durkheim said this is the opposite level of opposite current to fatalistic suicide, where in this anomic suicide there is sudden upheaval in the social norms. The established patterns in the society, the established norms in the society are removed in very short period of time, and we see there is jump in the suicide because such a sudden change in the society, in the patterns of the society, norms of the society are not understood by people, or they make them unstable. Recently there was a study I was reading in the COVID times. It was sudden upheaval in the social patterns of the society. The interactions, the behaviors of the people completely changed in those few months during the lockdown periods around the world, and it was seen suicide rates jumped across the world. Mental stresses and the suicides resulting from it jumped across the world, and this is the case of anomic suicide. All these four currents have been described by the Emile Durkheim, and he said these are the four currents. They are present in the extremes of each other, but if they work in the society on any particular individual, then the person is likely to commit suicide. Although there are psychological factors as well as behind, it is not that everyone is of the same psychological mindset. Maybe, but there are chances that such a person is being pushed by society to commit the suicide. So many said, oh, is the data present to verify these facts? Durkheim heavily relied on data to reach these conclusions. He collected the data. Surprising to know, the data suggested as studies conducted by Durkheim, married people commit less suicide, whereas single people commit more suicide. The reason Durkheim suggested, married people have stronger integrations, family support systems, they are connected to different institutions of the society, multiple institutions, hence their integration is what becomes a protective layer for these people. Whereas single people do not have so much of the interconnection, as a result more suicides are seen in the single people. Another important area and data used by Durkheim was the people belonging to higher class, the people which are rich. By default, their richness makes them disconnected from the society. They do not have that much of cohesive networks. They do not have integration with the society at the level where middle class or poor strata of the population has. As a result, in the suicide rates in high class people are more as compared to lower class people. And another data Durkheim suggested, urban people commit more suicide where in comparison to rural demography. The reason is the same. The urban people are individualistic, their lives are individualistic, they do not have as strong social connections as the connections of the rural people, and this is what the social becomes a protective layer for the rural areas of the people of rural areas, which protects them in committing the suicide, and hence we see this data. And these data sets presented by Durkheim became a foundation that suicide is not a psychological phenomena, it is a sociological phenomena as well. And today we study the suicide from these 2 point of views. One is from the point of view of psychology, another is from the point of view of sociology. And Durkheim believed there are many institutions, there are functions of all these events that happen in the society. The society as a whole is an organism. These functions sometimes behave in a way that they are called deviant behaviors or anomic behaviors, which are not natural for the society, but sometimes they behave in a wrong manner, and as a result these were called anomic behaviors. And I hope this insight about suicide would have been interesting for you guys. Please stay safe, take care of yourself, and stay tuned for more sociological concepts. Thank you everyone.